Hi guys, welcome back, and let's continue. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. What the fuck? Thanks for keeping your promise, then, heck. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Even the music's changing. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it? Oh! 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 That scared me. I think the music just cut out accidentally. That scared the shit out of me.
Oh, come on! They deserve any slack! You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan just to come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it.
Bruh, she came in front of the words. Oh my god. I can't even read it. Her hair's in the way. Natsuki blah blah blah. Have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in her room. Uh-oh. Nah. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. I'm sorry, Denhek. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have an interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no to either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels right for me to do something like that, you ask? Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then, forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of this club, so even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you, I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you could read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging through her closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed it in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book that you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to read some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore today... that's not what I meant. I mean... I just happened to buy two of them. No, she bought one for me and for her. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of a Markov. I don't know what that is. There's an ominous, I can't read, looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines just that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and asphyxiating them too. Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Okay, Yuri, that's kind of creepy. Not the thing about limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it seem like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, then, heck? No, it's not that. I could definitely enjoy this kind of story, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those kind of things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that this kind of story is the kind of challenge you look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world's full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Then suddenly, oh no, where did it go? I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should have let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, my whole body, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So, I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. Actually, you need to worry. Because she's crazy. That just means you're passionate about reading. Oh, she's passionate, alright. The least I can do is listen. It is a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Yes! Oh my god. I mean, you don't have to, but... what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. I forgot this was a horror game. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I am sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just that I'm not very used to it. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her pressure over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly a bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading my book instead. Sorry. I was just... fudge, I really wanted to read that. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. You just did it again, Yuri. You just did it again. You apologized again. I mean... there's this... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closed her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Aww. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb and flips it to the other side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer than before. Uh-oh, it's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page? Sorry. I think I got a little bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I could do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I can turn it on my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things and she says all that. That's what you were talking about? Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if she's to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Then heck? Oh god. Did something just happen right now? Huh? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything. Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start sharing our poems with each other? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, so then I slip it back in my bag. Who should I read my poem to first? Okay, well that's an easy choice. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Da-da-da. Da-da-da.
Well, it's about time.
Oh wait, I read that wrong.
Well, it's about what I expected for someone like you.
That's a little blunt.
Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions.
So basically it's not cute enough for your taste?
Do you want to get smacked?
I'll pass.
Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it.
It's literally the same thing. Same poem from earlier. Eagles can fly, monkeys can jump, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it.
Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even try taking my writing seriously.
But isn't the point of poems just for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message less valid.
Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other nice thing about it, simple writing, is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then it makes it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized.
That's what I meant to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you?
Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I wasn't going to take that away from her. Well, Monica, I guess.
Hi, Den Heck. Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Ahaha. Don't worry, Den Heck. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem.
Great job, Den Heck. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you.
It's easier for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort.
Ahaha, that's not very fair.
Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri's like this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean like that's a bad thing though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. Oh. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with lots of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming off a little strongly. Like earlier. Okay, Monica. I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly, the door opens.
Yuri!
I'm back. Did I miss anything?
Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other.
Eh? Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, did you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Whew, hole in wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings. But my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears? The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. I'm sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. That's the kind of style I've gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting I can't read today. Putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany lately. It's been influencing my poems lately. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Oops. Sometimes, when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a certain point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about this: if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Who should I show my poem to next? I'm gonna stop it here, guys. In the next episode, we'll do Yuri's poem.